Hi guys, this is Kevin with KKOA. Today we are doing another one of our how-to videos. Today we are going to fix on how to fix a leaky toilet, especially if you have a Thetford toilet and the valve itself is leaking. I'll let you go through some of the troubleshooting steps that I did and what we have determined the problem is to fix it. So come along with us and enjoy this video. Alright, the problem that we had was we went on a trip just a couple weeks back and our toilet was leaking. It was leaking in the back of the toilet. I'm not quite sure. At first I thought it was a hose. Ended up buying a new hose. Thought it was a fitting that was leaking on the hose, but it was actually, we replaced the hose. Went to go try to get a new hose and new fittings. The one thing about this, you can't just go to Lowe's and buy a regular hose fitting. On the RV toilets, they're actually a little bit different threads, a little bit different size. So that was a little difficult that we had to try to make it work. So it was pretty difficult trying to find it, but I did order a new hose online. I'll put the link down below if you need to get a new hose, and I'll also put the link down below on the valve. We come to determine that it's actually the valve leaking on the Thetford toilet that we're going to do replacing today. Alright, I ended up picking up at Amazon this kit. I'll put the link in the description down below, but it actually has the replacement valve. What's one thing common that we've seen on these toilets is that the valve, the threading, the plastic and all that over time can crack and leak, and I think that's the problem that we're having with ours. Once we get it out, I'll discover to see and look and see what was actually leaking, but it was kind of spraying a little thin spray coming out of there, so I think now I've got it down to there. In this kit, it also has a nice little seal, so we'll replace that seal. It goes on the bottom of the toilet. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and remove the screws, the nuts on either side. So there's actually two nuts on either side. We'll also go ahead and remove the hose. This is kind of tight, so we can't really redo the replacement, so we're going to have to pull the toilet out. As you can see, I kind of had a modified hose because I ended up cutting the end off, and I went and got a part to where I can actually have the thread, and then this is the hose that I ended up picking up online, because my other one, I cut the hose, I actually cut the end off because I thought it was leaking the seal, but it turned out it was actually the toilet itself. Alright, the first thing you need to do is you need to go ahead and take the nuts out here, remove these bolts. We'll go ahead and pull the toilet out and go outside. Alright, once you have your toilet out, you may want to go ahead and clean it. I ended up doing a thorough cleaning on ours, as it was pretty disgusting, and you may want to get a water hose, especially underneath. So I kind of got it all cleaned out, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the first thing you want to do is there's a screw that's right here that's to hold this valve in. What we're replacing is this whole valve. So we're going to go ahead and remove this retaining screw. Now this thing sits, there's a little tab that's right here, so you need to pop this little tab out. Be careful because this is all plastic. And since we're going to be reusing this, we don't want to break this little tab off because this is what really kind of holds it in. So now we're just going to kind of slide this out of the channel. You may need to push down on the pedal, or if it's got a little flap on the side, push down the pedal. It helps relieve some of the tension. So now we'll just slide it out, and then we're going to take this little metal clip, it goes in the hole, and just pull that out. So now that's out. I believe there was a little hairline piece or hairline hole or crack that was spraying out here, because that's where it was spraying out at. So I guess this is kind of a reading on some of the forums. This is kind of a common problem, that this plastic piece will get a crack and develop a crack. I thought it was actually the hose that was leaking, but I believe it was this actual plastic piece itself had gotten a hole. So what you're going to want to do, here's that little valve. This will kind of go back into here in reverse order, and then this little channel this little channel is what slides. The little channel will slide right down in here. So as you go to slide it in. So we'll just kind of put this back together in reverse order. So step down on it. Place that. Like so. And then we'll line up that channel. You want to make sure, I guess there is one thing. This didn't have, you want to make sure that you take off, this has a little seal. This little seal doesn't look like this new one has a seal, and I bet you that's probably an important piece. So you need to make sure that you carefully probably pop off that seal. Okay, so now we'll push back down on the lever. We'll slide that into the channel. As you go to slide it in, that hose will just kind of line up and go on. So we want to put our hose back on. Make sure this little clip goes back into that little slot. So I had to put a little bit of Vaseline on that seal, but the seal is now in place, and as you can see, it's kind of on there. So then we'll go ahead and put our screw back in place. And we'll test our valve. Yep. And that's pretty much it. All right, now we'll go ahead and put the toilet back inside and hook up the water line. All right, so now we need to take this seal off. Make sure you use caution not to drop anything down into your black tank. So we're going to go ahead and replace this seal. This seal is what come in the kit. Instead of trying to put it down here, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to put it on at the bottom of the toilet right here. Like so. So now we're just going to set the toilet back down. The toilet's fairly light, so it's pretty easy to do, but we're just going to... Now we're just going to put our nuts, tie our nuts back in there. Make sure that it's kind of seated down on that seal. We'll put our nuts back. Seated down enough. Probably tighten down a little bit on each side. Kind of like you would do a tire. You want to just tighten out a little on each side until it goes down so it's not too much on one side. Go ahead and put our little caps back on. We'll go ahead and connect up our water line. Like so. All right, now let's go ahead and pressure check. Okay, go ahead, pump on. All right, we don't have any leaks. Make sure that it works. All right, valve works. Okay, so that's pretty much it to fixing your leaky toilet. I'll put the part in the description down below, so you can go ahead and know where to order it. Once again, I hope you continue to like these videos that we do. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out some of our great videos. All right, appreciate it. Another great video from KKOA. All right, bye.
Okay, so turn the pump on.
Stop. Turn off. Turn off. Towel.